Hello everyone, we'll be taking a look at the primitive characters pack, and the author is in the seller spotlight for 50% off. This pack contains 5 characters, and an 80% discount is applied until the 6th of October, and the normal price would be $65. Currently the price is $14, and a 50% discount on top of it makes it $7, which I think is a great price, and the folder size is about 2.8 gigabytes. We can see on the overview level on the right and left they're the same things, except for the skeleton. The right uses the UE5 skeleton and the left uses the UE4. You can see the characters up close. The details are really good on the clothes. Not sure if primitive characters had boots. This is a different version of it, of him. And the different parts, because this also contains the modular parts separated for each of the characters. And this female character is definitely not inspired by Horizon or Hellblade series. And the third character is an old man with amputated limbs. And the fourth character is a female with hair problem. And the last one is a kid with scary face paint that can be used in horror games as well. I mean, I always wish for clean versions to be included. And these are the animations that are included, but first let's take a look at the lightning only view mode and the collisions. The collisions, I would say they're okayish. And you can see most details are from normal maps. Take a look at the animations. Just the default mannequin animations for these parts. But on the UE5 side, there is this walk animation. I mean, the cloths does not simulate that much. There is a little bit of it. And also the old man runs as fast as any other person with a amputated limb. Good for him, I guess. Looking at what are included in the folders, we got the UE4 and UE5 demo scenes with the skeleton and animations, the level, the materials, the meshes, with full and separated modular parts for both UE4 and UE5 skeletons, of course. And the textures. So looking at the textures, we got 28 8K textures, 21 4K, 26 2K, 3 1K. And some of the textures do have alpha channels for opacity. And we can see that the ambient occlusion is separated as its own texture and uses the grayscale compression. Just make it DXT1 compression to save space. And the metallic and roughness are packed together. I dislike this approach because it is waste of space in my opinion. Looking at the materials, there are no material instances or only master materials. They're two-sided for the masked. You can see there are only four texture nodes there. And the weapons are the static mesh. I actually forgot to go over them because they only exist on the UE4 side of the map. You can see there is an error here because we changed the compression on the ambient occlusion. We have to also change the texture type, texture sampler type. These are for the static meshes. There are no LODs, extra UV channels. They use one material. And the vertices, this also goes for the skeletal meshes. For like the parts do not exceed about 35,000 except for the hair, and fully they are somewhere around 100,000, give or take 20,000. And to compare the UE4 and UE5 skeletons, let's grab the other guy. You can see that there are morph targets for closing the eyes, the brows. And for the skeleton on the UE4, we can see that twist bones are not weighted. There are 4 material slot for the full mesh. And for the UE5, although it is like UE5, but the extra bones are not weighted. So just basically a UE4 skeleton bones are used. You can add the compatible skeleton with the UE5 and just use their animation and should work just fine. Looking at the UVs, we can see the packing is okayish. There's some wasted space. This is multi-material, by the way. Let's see if the symmetrical parts are overlapped. Seems so. Yep. At least on this character, the same or symmetrical parts are being overlapped, which is nice to see. Now let's look at this one, and no, symmetrical parts are not overlapped. And the boots, they are. And you can see when you get close to it, there is like some hint of reflection there. Actually, I tried to change it beforehand, but it is set to color for the metallic and roughness. It should be linear color because the textures do have sRGB enabled, so they should have sRGB disabled and the sampler type set to linear color. Although it is still a bit glossy, it should be a little bit better. Now, if you can get this at the like the discounted price that it's currently at, when I reviewed this, it's a steal basically for that price. It is modular and there are morph targets. Both UE4 and UE5 skeleton versions are included. Although the bones there are not fully, and the metallic roughness have this sRGB enabled by default. It shouldn't be like that, and they should be packed together with the ambient occlusion, and there shouldn't be any alpha channel because alpha channel basically doubles the size if you're using DXT1 compression, of course. There are some parts that are not symmetrical parts that are not being overlapped on the UV space. I wish that they were. And the UV packing, there is some tiny wasted space on there. There are no material customization and no material instances are used. And for some of the versions, I wish that the clean version without any tattoos were included. That should wrap up my review on it. Hope you liked it and enjoyed. Later.